It's a cold, rainy night in Kerala, India. The Corporation Stadium is playing host to a football match that will eventually have the visiting Nigerian team begging for the final whistle. It's a story every Nigerian has heard, and depending on what age you were or your level of innocence at the time, you either believed or laughed at how ridiculous it was. Imagine a football match so unbelievable and very much like a video game that it has been whispered about for generations. A match where Nigeria allegedly faced India and, despite suffering an extraordinary loss of 1991, still emerged victorious in the spirit. But did it really happen, or is it just a fantastic tale passed down through the years? The story is set out taking place in the 1950s, a time when football was rapidly gaining popularity across the globe. Post-war optimism was in the air, and nations were finding new ways to express their identity on the world stage. In Nigeria, football was more than just a sport. It was a growing passion, a new language, that spoke of hope and unity in a time of change. Similarly, India was experiencing its own post-independence revival, with sports becoming a significant part of its cultural resurgence as well. And this was the backdrop against which this legendary match was said to have taken place. Now, according to the legend, Nigeria faced India in this match, and what happened on the pitch that day was anything but ordinary. The Indian team was said to possess supernatural powers that defied logic and physics. The ball could disappear and reappear at will. Indian players could turn into lions, elephants, or even inanimate objects like stones, confounding the Nigerian team at every turn. The ball moved like it was under a spell, weaving its way through the defense as if it had a mind of its own. As the story goes, the Nigerian players were left utterly bewildered. Every time they thought they had the ball in their sights, it would vanish or transform into something else. The Indian team capitalized on this supernatural advantage, scoring goal after goal after goal after goal. And by the time the score reached 99-0, the Nigerian team were in despair. Unable to comprehend what they were up against, it wasn't just a game anymore. It was a surreal experience, a nightmare unfolding on the pitch. And yet, despite being 99 goals down, despite facing an opponent that seems to wield the power of the gods, the Nigerian team did not give up, and in the final minutes of the match, something miraculous happened. The Nigerian team, battered but unbroken, managed to score a single goal. Now, this lone goal, as the legend tells it, was enough to break the spell. Suddenly, the Indian team's supernatural powers were rendered useless, and the match came to an abrupt end. What happened next is perhaps the most curious part of the story. According to some versions of the legend, as soon as the Nigerian goal was scored, the Indian team vanished from the pitch, as if they were never there to begin with. Others say that the referee, terrified by what he had witnessed, immediately called up the match. However, what is consistent across all versions of the story is the idea that this single goal saved Nigeria from complete humiliation and turned the tide of what seemed to be an impossible battle. Here's the catch: there are no official records of such a match ever taking place. No newspaper articles, no radio broadcasts, no eyewitness accounts that can be verified. Just stories of the myth. So where did this story come from? Why has it endured for so long in the collective memory of a nation? Some believe that the legend of the match is a product of Nigeria's vibrant oral storytelling tradition, where tales are often exaggerated for dramatic effect. And in a country where folklore and myth are deeply intertwined with everyday life, it's not surprising that a story like this could take root and flourish. Others suggest that the tale may have been a way to boost national pride during the early years of independence. A symbolic story that represented the resilience and determination of the Nigerian people. Nigeria gained independence from British colonial rule in 1960, just a few years after the match was said to have taken place. The early 1960s were a time of great change and uncertainty as the new nation sought to define itself on the global stage. In this context, Stories like this could have served as powerful symbols of national identity. They were not just tales of football, they were metaphors for the struggle against overwhelming odds, for the triumph of the human spirit. Now, it's worth noting that football itself played a significant role in Nigeria's post-independence identity. The sport became a unifying force in a country marked by ethnic and cultural diversity. The passion for football transcended regional differences and brought people together in a shared love for the game. In many ways, the legend of this match is a reflection of a deep-seated passion Nigerians have. It's a story that resonates because it speaks to the heart of what football means to Nigerians. A symbol of hope, resilience, and the possibility of achieving the impossible.